Hello and welcome to the Freedom Frequency Podcast. I'm your host, Kaya, energy healer, psychic channel, and spiritual mentor for women who are ready to ditch the spiritual rulebook, release the pressure and overwhelm, and let go of all that comparison that makes you feel like what you're doing isn't enough. In this podcast, I'm going to share bits of my journey with you, as well as my wisdom and knowledge to show you that spirituality gets to be something that works for you and not something that you work for. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hello. How are you guys? I have a perspective shifting episode planned for today. I have been on a bit of a kick around, just thinking of topics of abundance as I am launching the Abundance Activation Experience for January. And just thinking of different topics around abundance that I feel really called to share. And one of these topics that I really want to dive into is around abundance rituals, like abundance meditations, abundance embodiment rituals, and just my thoughts on it. I have a few things I want to share here, so I don't really know where we're going to go with this, but we're just going to dive in and see where we're heading. So I'm sure if you are the type of person who desires to manifest more financial abundance or more abundance of any kind in your life, then you probably tried some different meditations and rituals, like maybe like an abundance meditation, a money manifestation ritual, an embodiment ritual. Like you've probably come across something and given it a go. And this was me, I would say like a year and a half or 2 years ago, where I was obsessed with this. I desperately desired to increase my financial overflow and my income. And I was so fixated on this. And in the last episode, I talked more about kind of like that topic. But what I really want to focus on here was one of the things that I really I utilized to help me with this was different rituals and meditation and any kind of, I guess, a ritual, or tool to help with money and to help with abundance. And what I really want to speak to here is that I genuinely believe that there are many, meditations and mantras and things that can be super helpful. Like I remember I would do like an abundance meditation every day. I had like what's it called, like the Lakshmi mantra, where you do like a 40-day devotion. I tried doing that a couple times. I did all kinds of embodiment rituals, embodiment practices and ceremonies. I bought all kinds of like programs and all kinds of stuff around money and manifestation and abundance. And what I came to find is that I ended up frustrated. Like I ended up really frustrated when I would be, committing every day to doing these rituals. I was committing every day to meditating, to doing this mantra, to doing some type of manifestation practice or journaling and affirmations and, all kinds of stuff. I was like charging my water with abundance and like I was doing everything and I wasn't seeing change. Like I wasn't seeing much change. Like I was, making the same money and like, my financial situation wasn't changing or anything like that. It was just kind of like, at that time it was kind of like just enough and not overflow. And I remember feeling so frustrated. I was like, is everyone else experiencing abundance and like swearing by these rituals and routines and meditations and everything, and I'm not seeing anything? And like at this point, like maybe I had been doing this for like 6 months. Like it had been quite a bit of time. So like I expected after 6 months that I would see some results, right? Like that I would see an increase because I had been so committed to these rituals. And I really got me thinking, like, at that time I was thinking, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Like, am I doing the wrong rituals? Am I doing them in the wrong way? Like, and I felt like I must be doing something wrong. Or maybe I'm not supposed to be doing them all, on top of each other. Or maybe I'm not like committed enough, or maybe I'm not doing it for enough time, or, whatever. And I got into a place where honestly it felt pretty crappy. Like I was like, I felt like, am I going to give up? Like, is anything going to change? Is it not meant for me? Like, I'm trying all these things and they're not working. It's so frustrating. I don't want to invest in anything else now because like that's probably not going to work either. And like, blah, blah, blah. And I really had to say, like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Like, I've invested time and money and energy and nothing's changed. So I kind of had two choices. Like, I could just give up and be like, whatever, it is what it is. Or I could, you know, ask myself, like, if I'm being honest here, like, what's not working? Like, what if it's not the rituals? Like, what if it's me and not from a place of like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing this right. What am I doing wrong? But what if there's just something I'm not seeing? Like, can I be open to seeing what I'm not seeing and to shifting my perspective on something? And in this, what I really discovered was the main like shift that I needed to make was the energy in which I was doing the rituals. The energy in which I was showing up for all of these things was not ideal. Like, it was from a place of lack and scarcity, from a place of attachment and desperation, from a place of wanting, wanting, wanting because I don't have, from a place of, oh, I hope this works. Like, it probably won't because nothing else has, but like, I hope it does. Or from a place of like, I have to show up and do this. I have to do this to make money. I have to do this. I have to do this. And all of these rituals and things that were supposed to make me feel more high vibrational and more abundant, ultimately, I was just using as a means to an end. I was just using because I felt like it was a secret key. And part of this wasn't even my fault. Part of it was, some of the marketing in the online space where it was like, this is the secret key. Like, this meditation will make you 10K months and whatever. And it's like, and I fell for that. You know what I mean? And it's like, of course, for some people, they can experience those results. But like, I think too, we have to realize that like, when someone's marketing something as like, the secret key or the secret code, and like, you're going to get this specific like result or whatever from it, it's like, we have to take that with a grain of salt. Like, that result is possible. But at the same time, we have to also just be open to, yeah, like, I'm willing to give this a go. Like, maybe this will increase my abundance, and not from a place of like, this better work. They guaranteed this result. Like, I hope it works. Like, that kind of thing. And so what I really realized is like, I could keep showing up and doing all these rituals from a place of like, I hope it works. I'm so desperate for money. Like, I really want this to work out. Like, I don't have enough. Like, I'm in lack and scarcity, and like, I want overflow and I don't have it, and things like that. Or I could decide, what would actually feel good to show up for? What do I actually desire to show up and do? Like, why am I doing rituals that I don't even like doing just so that I can call in more money? Like, for me, the big eye opener was like, the Kundalini mantras. Like, some people really resonate with this, and like, there's times where I have tried them and like, they have felt kind of cool and whatever, but like, as a whole, doing a 40-day devotion for mantras just does not resonate with me at this point. Like, right now in my life, it does not resonate. I would do it and I would just be like, trying to like get it done. And I don't want to spend my time doing rituals that I'm just trying to get them done. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I don't want to spend my day doing something just to get it done. Like, that to me is like work. You know what I mean? And while I do believe we have to like work for what we want in some ways, I also believe that like, our spiritual practices, our embodiment rituals, our manifestation practices, they should all feel good. Like, the point of it is that we want to raise our vibration. So are we really raising our vibration to become, a match for what we desire if we actually hate doing it? Like, if you hate meditation, but you make yourself meditate every day, you're not actually raising your vibration. Like, you're not actually doing something out of joy and pleasure, which is magnetic to attract in more. So I really realized, like, why am I doing all this stuff that I don't like doing and feeling pressure to do it, and feeling like every day it was like I had to check them all off the list and get them done? to call in more money. Otherwise I wouldn't, like, and it was just a belief that I had that like I had to do all this stuff to get money. And what I came to realize through, learning more about my personal human design and stuff too, is like I'm meant to receive from rest, from rest and relaxation. So what if I decided to focus more on the rituals and the practices that actually made me feel rested, that made me feel good, right? And that's when I really shifted the way that I was showing up for my spiritual practices in general, and specifically for manifestation stuff. Like I started to realize that like meditation does make me feel really good. So I'm going to do that. And I also had to realize like what fits into my life too, right? Like I'm a stay-at-home mom and I work from home. So it's like I'm quite busy around the house. So I don't have time every day to do an hour of meditation. So like what can I do that would make me feel good, that I have time for, and that I genuinely feel is going to be effective? Because if we don't believe the things we're doing are going to work, they're not. Like if we think like, okay, yeah, I'm going to try this like 40-day Kundalini mantra thing, then, probably won't work, but like, whatever, I'll try it, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Like we have to genuinely believe that like the things we're doing are helpful and they're working. And the best way I found to do this is to do things that instantly make you feel better in the moment. So meditation, after I meditate, I instantly feel better. So it's easy for me to show up and do that, knowing that like I'm going to receive like an instant result. Like I'm going to feel better right after. So I can keep showing up and doing that every day, knowing that I'm getting an immediate result out of it. Not that we always have to get instant gratification, but it's easier for me to show up that way. So what I really want you to think about here is like, what things are you doing because you feel like you have to? Or what things are you doing because you hope they work, but like low key in the back of your mind, you don't think they will? How many rituals and practices are you trying and layering on that you actually don't like doing in hopes that you get what you're desiring from it? And really asking yourself, how can I make this more simple and more pleasurable? How can I make my spiritual practices, my manifestation rituals, something that I enjoy doing, something that is simple and works for my life, that I know I can consistently show up for? Because that's a key here is like, we want to be consistent with these things, right? Like we want to be able to show up every day or, every week or whatever and do these things. So like, what is something that you can actually stick to? I truly believe that like consistency is everything. And that's not from a place of pressure. It's not from a place of like, I have to do this every day to see a result, but it's from a place of devotion. And I speak to this all the time. And like, I believe when we're devoted to something and we're consistent with it, we're more likely to build momentum. Like there's more energy compounding in the direction that we're desiring to go when we experience consistency. This is why my membership is like a monthly energy healing session, and you can't just stay for 1 month anymore. Like, not that anyone ever did, like everyone who's been in the membership has stayed in so far. So it's like, I truly believe that like energy compounds over time, and not even time, but just over consistency. So that's why the membership is like a 3-month minimum stay, because I believe that you need to stay for at least 3 months to start to see some benefits, like to start to be devoted to this healing work, right? And I just decided I didn't really want to do like a one-off healing for someone anymore, where it's like they did one, they're like, oh, I don't know if it worked, and like they weren't consistent with it. So this is why like all the offers I create now they come around like consistency for a lot of the part, especially with energy healing. But anyway, I wanted to leave you with those questions. I want you to re-listen to this episode if you need to, re-listen to those like prompts to get you thinking, and really start to think about like what needs to shift in my current routines, my current reality, to be doing like all my rituals and practices from a place of simplicity and from a place of pleasure, where I actually enjoy showing up for it, and I know it's working and I feel it working, and I can get consistent with it. And we're also going to be diving into all things abundance and manifestation. If you enjoyed this conversation, in my abundance activation 2-week experience coming up in January, I'm getting so excited for it. The things I have planned for this 2 weeks together is going to be just like this vortex whirlwind of abundance, like magnetism. I cannot wait. So if you love to to hear me talking about abundance, you love to hear me talking about manifestation, then you do not want to miss out on this 2-week experience. So I will drop the link for that and also the membership in the show notes if you're wanting to experience my work, if you're wanting to learn from me, if you're wanting to receive healing from me. I would love to have you in my space, in my world. And if you're already a part of my spaces, I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means so much to me to be able to bring my perspective, my healing, my teachings out into the world and to share them with you. So thank you so much for being here, for listening to this episode. And as always, if you have any comments, then I would love for you to send me a message on Instagram or drop a review in whatever platform you're listening to this on, so I can get my message out there further. So thanks again so much. I hope you have the most beautiful day today, and I will catch you on the next one.